Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the second Wednesday on 2025. Um, it's the time of the year again. A lot of people asking us, hey, Alan, what are we going to do this year? What type of deals that we can close this year? Normally, at the beginning of the year, I would like to share everybody what have we done. Obviously, on the Sequoia platform, we have many different products and services that we can provide to our clients. What are you focusing on is totally up to you. How are you going to run this business is totally up to you. We built this platform, but however, how are you running this platform? It is on your own. You tell us how you want to do it. We are here to help. Just like Uber, they do not force you to work. But if you decided to really spend time with Uber, you can make a good income, you can make a living out of it. Same thing with Sequoia. I truly believe that, hey, if you just focusing on one or two products that we offer, you can definitely make no less than six-digit income. Now, what have we done in the past? So what this training about is to show you opportunities, possibilities. Hopefully, through trainings like this, you can see um, what you can tap into, how you can serve your client in your community. So, without further ado, I'm going to jump into it to show you some of the deals that we have closed in 2024. Now, we close many deals. So normally, we every time when we close a deal, well, we cannot make a flyer like this for every deals that we close, but this year we're going to commit it to it. Normally, what we do is that for every deal that's unique, we will make a flyer like this and to post it onto social media, post on the Facebook, um, any different social media groups, so on and so forth. So I encourage you, if you really want to make it work, I would bet a lot of the people will ask you, "Hey Holly, hey Bobby, hey John, hey Gio, what have you done?" Well, show them what our company has done. Now, you might not close a four unit apartment. You might not have done a working capital. You might not have done a truck loan, whatever that might be. But however, that is what Sequoia has been closing. So you always utilize what we have done and to that advantage. Remember, you are not the one that is going to go out there to close the deal. You are the one out there is to generate the deals. Once the deal is generated, people like Bobby is going to help you to close the Smurf deal. People like um, George is going to help you to close the 1 to 4 unit fix and flip construction, whatever that might be. I will help you to close the working capital deal. So again, leverage our experience. It's impossible for you to close every single deal out there, right? So, however, leverage us. So my suggestion is that when you see us post things on Facebook, Twitters, Instagram, whatever that might be, feel free to download it and post it to your own social media. Now, some of you would like to repost it. Well, if you repost it, then again, it's not personalized, right? So my suggestion to you is that download it, put it onto your social media, however you want to do it, and that will keep a lot. That will definitely attract a lot of attention. You might not get things done immediately. But if you keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, somehow, somewhat, people is going to notice you that what you can do. And I was just talking to a very old friend of mine today. I haven't been talking to her for a while. She has been in the mortgage industry for a long time. I haven't talked to her. Her name is Melissa. I haven't talked to Melissa for a long time. I picked up the phone, I call her, and all of a sudden she's saying, "Hey, Alan, I actually been following you. I know that you are, doing a lot of crazy things. Wow, I didn't know that you can do this. I didn't know that you can do that. Hey, let's partner up together this year." So this is the power of building a business. You have to plant seed. It might not happen today. It might not happen tomorrow. But if you keep planting seeds, planting seeds, planting seeds, somehow some more things is going to follow. Okay. So here, what I would like to share with you, this is a very straightforward deal. It is a 4 unit apartment building, DSCR loan, cash out refinance. It's nothing special about this one. It's very clean. This particular property, they're already rented out. It has consistent income. The client's credit is good. Now, what are we looking for? Normally for DSCR loan, we're looking for credit score 660 and above, right? Below 660, it will be very challenging to go into DSCR. We still have other options for them, such as bridge loan, such as asset-based loans that they do not care about your credit score. But obviously, if you go into that type of loan, the interest rate will be much, much higher and the LTV will be much less. So we love loans like this. And a lot of people are asking us, hey, Alan, out of all these products and services out there, what would be the best for me to focus on? Well, I would suggest you to focus on the 1 to 4 units, single family homes, duplexes, 4 unit. Things like this is because it's everybody understand what it is. When you go out there, it's much easier to find, much easier for you to get referral. Now, where do we get the referral? Real estate agent and loan officers. These two type of people you can tap into. They can give you loan all the time, all day long. So again, this remember we can do cash out refinance. Okay, we can only do investment property. So when you go out there and talk to clients saying that, hey, somebody asking you, can we do this, can we do that, the first question you ask them is that, is this your primary residence, or if this is your investment property? If it's an investment property, we do that all day long. If it's primary, we have to tweak around it. Now, how do we do that? If somebody telling you that, hey, I have a single family home that worth about $2 million, most likely a $2 million single family home, it's a primary residence. Why? It's because for investors, not many investors will spend $2 million to purchase a single family home. Now, there's always exceptions, right? We have done a $8 million single family home in I believe that it's in Hillsborough in California, in one of the good area. The person that for that $8 million single family home, he actually purchased it for Airbnb and use it for corporate housing. So in some cases, it makes sense. But most of the cases when people saying that I have $2 million home, $3 million home, most likely it's an investment property. So hey, confirm with them, right? Ask you, do you live in that property? Now, how do you know if they live in that property or not? Or how do you if somebody's saying that, wow, this property could be an investment. Well, the things that you need to remember is that, ask them, is your driver's license, the address on the driver license, is that the same as the address of that property? If they are the same, most likely this is your primary residence, regardless how the title is held. Somebody was saying that, hey, that property is under an LLC. But if you live in that property, if that driver's license has the same address, even though it's under an LLC, the lender will still consider it as a primary residence. So now, are we saying that we cannot do it? There's always ways to get it done. But again, when the time comes, we want to see what the scenario looks like, then we can go forward. So if you want to focusing on, if this year, if you want to focusing on 1 to 4 unit, if you can just do one deal a month, okay, just one deal a month, you will have pretty good income. Okay, one deal a month. You make at least 30,000, obviously depending on how big the deal is. But on an average, if the loan size is $300,000, let's say we charge 2 points, so that's $6,000. And on an average, each deal that you're gonna get is close to $3,000. So $3,000 times 12, that's $36,000 increase this year for you. So that is 1 to 4 unit investment property. And this type of loan is very clean. There's no hiccup behind it. As long as the appraisal comes back, everything's fine, then we can close normally between 25 to 30 days. So once you submit the scenario, we provide a term sheet, we tell you that we can get this thing done. Most likely it's going to get done in 20 to 35 days. So you can expect a paycheck in 30 days. Okay? And there's another thing. We, as I mentioned, we pay out every single Friday. We want to see every one of you guys to get a paycheck every Friday. Okay. That's the first type of loan. The second type of loan is working capital. So we have done this deal. This deal right here is on, it's a couple. They have been running a bakery for 5, 6 years already. They move into property, a new property, and they need working capital to to expand their business. So this type of loans, we there's no collateral. Is because the property that they running the business, it's a rental. They do not own the property. There's a lot of business like this. So you run into clients saying that, hey, I have a business. Can I do this? Can I do that? Can I get working capitals? Can I get money out of it? So the answer is yes, absolutely. You can get funding out of it, but how do you do it, right? So for this type of loan, we need to look at your financials. Ideally, I want to see 2 years of financials, 2 years of tax return, profit and loss statement, balance sheets, debt schedule. So we can base on that to provide a loan for you. Now, 2024 just gone, and somebody saying, "Hey, I don't have 2024. What's going to happen?" So normally in that case, if then we need to look at 2024's the entire years of profit and loss statement, that schedule. So based on that, then we can provide a loan for this particular client, this type of clients. So if they qualify, they can get 100% of what they request. I need 300,000, 350, 400, whatever that might be. They can request whatever dollar amount that they want, but we need to base on the income, and as long as the income can support it, then they will able to get the loan. So normally this type of loan, because they do not own the property, okay, this type of loan normally is a 10-year loan, 10-year loan. The interest rate for this type of loan is always prime rate, prime plus 2.5 to 3%. So what is the prime rate right now? You got to check, right? So prime rate right now is 7.5%. So 7.5%, you add another 3 points to it, that is 10.5%. Now, the good thing is that the prime rate is at all-time high. It dropped a little bit. It used to be at 8.5%, but now it dropped a whole point. So the good thing is that the prime rate will, quote unquote, hopefully continue to drop. You are very, very high prime rate right now, and a lot of business cannot support it. So hopefully the interest rate is going to drop along the way. And when the interest rate dropped, what happened to their payment? Their payment is going to drop also. So from, let's say if drop another half point, then their payment drop another half point. So we do a lot of working capital. So now if somebody that only has 6 months of history, can he still get a loan? The answer is yes. As long as they have 6 months of history, they can still get a loan. But obviously, 6 months of history versus 2 years or 5 year, obviously the loan is going to be different. So for 6 months in business, we can only give them what we call a cash advance. Cash advance is just like a credit card. It based on your what? Based on your income, based on your deposit, based on your weekly, yes, a monthly deposit. So that is why we need to look at least 4 months of bank statements to look at if they have consistent deposit or not. What is consistent? Let's say every single month, your income is coming in about 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. Oh, up and down. That is consistent. So lender likes that, they will give you a loan. But if your income is not consistent, 1 month you have nothing, and the other month you have 10,000, and the other month you have 30,000, and then the next month you have nothing again, that is not consistent. So lender do not like that type of loan because again the, put put yourself into the lender's shoes. You always need to put yourself into the lender's shoes to think like them. How am I going to get my money back? If I give them 20,000, 30,000, 100,000, how am I going to get my money back? Right? So ideal situation for businesses that only open a very short period of time and they try to look for funding are businesses that has consistent income, consistent daily income, such as restaurants, spas, mechanic shops, um, uh, you know, business like this. You got the idea. Now, businesses such as brokerage, for example, like real estate brokerage, they might not even have income 1 month. All of a sudden, when they get a big deal, then they got money. Insurance, lawyers, those are type of businesses that lender might not want to. provide funding for them if they only be in business for a short period of time. Okay, so working capital. Now we get into something very interesting. Last year we have seen quite a bit of foreclosures on commercials, and I believe the foreclosure for commercial property will be more this year. This is what happened. We all know that the interest rate has gone up so much. Many businesses they got themselves into a few type of loans. The first type of loan is called SBA loan. SBA loan, I said it already, is prime plus a margin. So many of these clients, when they got into SBA loan, the prime rate is very low. You still remember the prime rate at 1%, 2%, 3%, very low, right? So even though putting on a margin, so normally at that time before COVID, or even sometimes the first 2 years of COVID, they are still paying interest rates somewhere between 3 to 5%. It's still very, very manageable. But then all of a sudden, the prime rate has gone up to 7, 8, 9. I'm not sure if it even got to 9, but it was at 8.5 at a point. So very, very high. And you plus the margin, 8.5% plus a margin, that is in the double digits. So all of a sudden, they used to pay about 3 or 5%, and all of a sudden, the payment become double, the interest rate become double. So many of the businesses are not able to sustain, not able to survive. We run into a lot of businesses where they come to us saying, "Hey, Alan, I need to get out of this loan. I need to get out of this loan." But because of the loan, the type of loans that they got themselves into, and because of the leverage that they got themselves into, we are not able to help them to refinance. So in most of the cases, even though they refinance, they have to put money into the loan in order for them to get out. So they're not able to get out. Um, so that's why we see a lot of foreclosures out there right now. So this particular one is Washington D.C. And by the way, this one is brought in by our wonderful Mr. Bobby Lee. And Bobby, it's a VP with New York Life in Virginia. And he came to Sequoia just because of our Smurf program. He never liked commercial lending, but hey, he came onto our platform. He just referred his client in. This is a $4.5 million deal. So the client that purchased this foreclosure property, it's a restaurant owner. This property is right in downtown DC. For those of you who live in DC area, this property is right in Chinatown. Okay, right in Chinatown, and you know the location. It's a beautiful location. So this property, do you know how much it worth? It worth about $12 million. $12 million, and he got it around 7 million. Okay, he got it for around 7 million, and we provide a loan for $4.5 million for them. So, and this type of loan, the lender is not going to do it. No lender would touch something like this. So we have private lenders come in here to take a look at it. And the good thing is that the private lender that we look for, it's a local lender. They know the area very, very well. There's no appraisal needed because they know DC just like the back of their hand. So once we give them the address, they know exactly what it is. They even know who the seller was. They even know who was the owner who got foreclosed on. So that is why it's very important to work with lenders that it's knowing the market. And that is what Sequoia can provide. We work with over 500 different lenders, and many of those lenders are local lenders that they know the local market very, very well. So for this particular one, there's no income check, there's no appraisals. So all we did is just did the title, and we funded the deal, 4.5 million. And I hope next time I go to DC, Bobby, probably next time we go to DC and see if the client already opened up his restaurant, man, and let's get some free meal. Okay, so that is foreclosure sale. Now this one is also very interesting. A lot of people are asking us, how fast can you guys close deal? And I can tell you, our record is 24 hours. 24 hours funding on a real estate deal. So what happened with this one? This one is an investment property. It's in California, Acadia, California. The client has all the credentials. That is the type of clients that the lender is looking for. A paper, credit score in 800s, make a lot of money, have a lot of cash. He purchasing this property, and he goes out there to look for. He's putting down he's putting down 50%, 50% down, right? So the lender love it. But they went to a bank. Now, guess what happened? Finally, at the final hours. Now, this type of property was actually purchased by two investors. Two investors. They all have very, very good criteria. So the last minute, one of the investors saying that I'm not going to go into it. I can't, cold feet, whatever that might be. They decided not to move forward. So leave the other guy, let's call him John Doe. So leave John Doe hanging up there. Now tomorrow it's closing. And today his partner walked away from him. He put in $200,000 deposit into the deal already. And if he does not close, that $200,000 is going to be gone. So he came to us saying that, hey, Alan, I'm short. I say, how much you short? He said, I'm short about $500,000. Okay, $500,000. We looked at the property. The property worth about 1.5, 1 point, 1.7 million. Again, in California, 1.7 million dollars, it's pretty pretty standard. You cannot buy much with 1.5 million dollars anyway. So we looked at it, and guess what? Again, no bank is going to, no, not even hot money is going to touch this thing if we need to close it tomorrow. So that's where we come with the local lender. We call up a local lender in the local area. Once we gave them we gave them the address, we gave them the city. They liked it. They know the area very well. So we get them on the phone immediately and they send over the package. The good thing is that they already got everything done. The title is done. The inspection is done. The appraisal is done because they went to the bank. So they got everything ready, shipped the whole package to us. And I remember that they called us at 11 o'clock in the morning. We got everything submitted to the lender by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And by 5 o'clock, the lender calls back and send it fine. We are going to fund you $500,000 because they put in so much deposit. And for this particular one, they're saying that, well, I don't need any appraisal, but I just need to do a drive-by evaluation to just make sure that the house is there, make sure that the house is not burned down, right? So again, 5 o'clock, they told us that they're going to fund it, and now they work overtime with their lenders, with their attorneys, and that is very important. And again, for a situation like this, it's every minute counts. So they call their attorney, and the attorney stay overtime until like 7 and 8 o'clock at night, prepare the entire closing package and send it to the lender. So next day in the morning, I told you 11 o'clock they called us, right? Next day 11 o'clock they're at closing table. Now obviously things like this doesn't happen every single day, but just want to show you that it does happen. We do have the ability to do it, but I don't like to do it. It's just too much pressure. Because again, everything's on my shoulder. If this thing cannot close, the client is going to lose 200,000. And guess what? If that client lose 200,000, perhaps I'm going to lose a whole market. So we have to evaluate the deal very, very carefully before we say yeah or nay on something like this. So normally something like this, myself, George, we don't even evaluate a deal. Immediately we pull the lender into the conversation. And that is another thing about Sequoia, about working with us. A lot of these lenders that we work with, we call them up, they get on it immediately. It's just because we have the relationships, right? So, and of course, this thing is not cheap, right? For $500,000 like this, it's not cheap. We charge them quite a bit of points in order for them to get it done, but they're willing to pay. So, and another thing that, ladies and gentlemen, we need to realize that in Sequoia Lending, our business is not to sell the mortgage. No, our business is not in the business of selling interest rate. We don't sell interest rate. If they want to have a lower interest rate, keep bugging with you, go somewhere else. Go to the bank. Go with someone that has a lower interest rate first. If you cannot get it done, then come to us. What are we selling? We are selling solutions. We are selling solutions. And for clients like this, they need a solution. They can say, hey, how can you get me the money? I don't care about the interest rate. I don't care about the fees. I just need you to give me the $500,000. So that is why we changed our company name to Sequoia Enterprise Solutions. It's effective immediately. All right. So there's another one, 24-hour closing. Okay, this one is very interesting. This is a repeat client. This client already came to us within 2 years. Within 2 years, he came to us 4 times already. 4 times already. So the first time that he came to us, he purchased this warehouse. When he purchased this warehouse, it was like junk, nothing in there. It's an empty space. So he himself used his own cash to purchase something like this. He owns a furniture store in Pasadena. So again, he needed a place for his business. So he used his own money to purchase this and move his uh, uh, business into this store. So the first time he came to me, he already spent the money, but he need approximately 200,000 to renovate the building so that he can go into, do his business. So based on the value of the building, we gave him a hot money. We gave him a bridge loan for 12 months. Give him $200,000. He used the $200,000, renovated the building, looks beautiful, and he moved into that building. And once he moved into that building, now he already finished it. When he purchased it, he purchased it for 600,000. So 600,000, we give him 200,000. That's only 30% LTV. It makes a lot of sense. Everybody would jump on it. But because that property, it's like junk. So we're not able to give him a long-term note. We only give him a 12 months. So in 12 months, he fixed everything. He moved his business into it. Now the building looks beautiful. So at that time, he came back to us saying, hey, Alan, I need more money for working capital. So we did another evaluation on the building. So after he finished it, now because again, there's no income yet, there's no operation, he just moved in. So at that time, the building, we estimated the building worth approximately $1.2 million. $1.2 million. And guess what? Now we gave him 50% of that $1.2 million. So that's the second time he came back. The second time we gave him $600,000. So he used that $600,000, purchased more inventory, so on and so forth. And after a while, now the second year, he came back again, which is in 2024, last year. He came back to us again and saying that, hey, Alan, I've been running the business for 2 years now. I want to get out of this $600,000 loan. I need more money. So the third time we funded him $1 million. Just funded in September of last year. We gave him $1 million. So this is the third time now, $1 million. So he has $1 million. And guess what? About 2, 3 weeks ago, he came back saying that, hey, Alan, my property right now worth about $3 million. You only gave me 1 million. I need another $500,000. So as we speak right now, we are looking for a $500,000 loan for him. So this is what commercial lending is all about. That is the fun part of in commercial lending. You are growing together with your client. Literally, I see him from nobody purchasing a property for 600,000, and now the property worth about $3 million. And plus, we gave him working capital to operate his business. So he's keep growing. He will keep coming back to us, keep coming back to us, keep coming back to us. So this is the relationship that we have with our clients. So one more time, we're not here to just sell one mortgage. No, we are here to sell a solution. So please put yourself into that situation. I'm not here to just sell one deal. I'm here to grow together with my client. So whenever they need whatever they need, they will come to us. They will go to you for the resources. And now obviously we can do commercial lending, which I like this one. I give him money for to purchase to renovate the property. I give him working capitals. Right now I can offer cost segregation. I'm going to call him up later on because now the property worth about $3 million. I'm going to give him a call. Let's do cost segregation. I can save you a lot of money, right? And then I can provide what the wellness program for him. He has about three, not many people. He has about two sales person and two drivers, so about four people that's working for him. Hey, I can provide a benefit for him, right? So again, this is a warehouse furniture store. This one is also pretty clean. It's not much. It's a multi-family. It works very similar to 1 to 4 unit, but this one it's more than 5 unit. It's a I believe that this is a 7 unit um multi-family in Brooklyn. Okay, so it's very clean. It's already rented out. Um, Client has good credit. Put down 35%. Then we funded him 65%. So ideal client is like this. Okay, the ideal clients they have money to put down. Um, they know the value of the property. They are not here to nickel and dime with you on interest rate and fees. And love deals like this. $1 million deal. Now this one is also very interesting. Oh my God, this one we spent so much time on it. Um, I'm not sure if George is online. George spent so much time going from one lender to another lender to another lender to another lender to another lender. The challenge for this one is that after this property, you can see number one is a farmhouse. This is the actual house. Okay, this is the actual house. It is a farmhouse. It has it has a lot of you know crazy stuff on that farm. And also, when you're talking about farm, it's in a rural area. So not many people, not many lender will like properties like this. It's just because, once again, put yourself into their shoes. If you were the lender, you gave them $430,000, and if they cannot pay you back, what do? You have to foreclose this property. And when you foreclose this property, what do? You have to sell it. Now, the question is that how fast can you sell a farmhouse like this? If you do not know the area, it might take you a while. If you do not know the type of property, you know, it doesn't work for you. And that is why with our resources, all of these 500 different lenders that we have, each one of them serve a different purpose. So we do have lenders that is specialized in rural area, lands, crazy projects, mobile park homes, things like this. So finally, we find a lender. We didn't even know that he does this kind of stuff. All the time, we thought that he just only do 1 to 4 units. And by talking to him and all of a sudden just doing a conversation casually, we doing a conversation. I say, hey, his name is Raphael. I say, hey, Raphael, do you know anyone can do something like this? We have a project like this. I cannot get it done. Who can do this? And he says, well, I can do it because we have been funding rural area property for a long time, and we love properties like this just because to some lender, this type of property is niche. Just because a lot of people don't want to touch it, they want to touch it, they are getting a lot of business out of it. So obviously they know the area, they not just the area, but they know the market, they know the business, they know how to get this thing done. So that's another thing about us is that when we look for one lender, it does not work. We always discuss with our lender. I mean, all this in normal situation, lender do not like to share what they know with you, right? Unless you guys are friends, you guys, done a lot of deals together. So we done a lot of deals together, and we oftentimes all these lenders that we work with, if they cannot do it, we always ask them, hey, do you know anyone in your network can get this thing done? So oftentimes we always have lender refer other lenders to us, and that is why our lender networks just keep building and building and building. And guess what? We don't even need to vet those lenders. Because the lender already vetted them. So again, farmhouse. And another interesting property is a church. Church deal is not easy to do. Okay, church deal is not easy to do, but it's doable. It's case by case basis. So I would say, I would say every 10 church that's submitted to us, either is working capital or purchase a building, so on and so forth, we might be able to get two or three done. The other seven, unfortunately, just cannot help them. But we do have resources that can get church loan done. Okay. So this is church. Now, church also expanded to other non-profit uh, organizations. So, for example, we are doing a deal for a temple. We try to get it done. Okay. This one, it's it's what we call a trophy deal. Um, it's a fix and flip property, and it's 100% finance. A lot of people saying that, well, how can you get 100% finance? Yep, there are lender out there that's willing to give you 100%. They give this one 100% of the purchase price. They give 100% of the renovation. So fix and flip is like this. You buy a very ugly property and you purchase it and you put money into it and you sell it, right? So that is what fix and flip is. It's a business. A lot of people, a lot of investors are in that fix and flip business. Now, in most of the time, most of the lender feel very comfortable to give you 80% of the purchase money. So for fix and flip, you have two portion of the money, right? You have the purchase money and you have the what? You have the renovation. Now, all lender will give you 100% of renovation. They want to make sure that you have enough money to finish the project. But most lender will give you between 80 to 90% of the purchase price. Okay? They're all over the place. Now, even though 80%, 90%, if you blend it, the 80% the 90% purchase and 100% renovation, you blend it together, it's 92, 93% of the total loan cost. So to a lot of investors, if they are still using their own money to do it, they only can do one or two projects at a time. Because again, I mean, a lot of these projects cost like three, $400,000 to do it, and if you do two or three projects together, there's $1 million in cash. How many people can actually have $1 million in cash? Not many. But if you can utilize this type of funding, and you can do many projects, and especially if you have the experience to show, and if the project makes sense, the lender is willing to give you, their lender is willing to give you 100% of the project cost. Give you 100% purchasing money, they give you 100% renovation, and in some cases, they will even roll your closing costs into the loan in some cases. So at the minimum, you just come out with the closing costs, right? So this one, it's one of our trophy case. Okay, this one. I'm about to wrap up. So this one, it's many of you already know, or many of you know that we mentioned it to you that in December last month we closed $15 million loan, $15 million, and this 6 million is one of that 50 million. So this gentleman is in Chicago, in Chinatown, Chicago. He owns a lot of properties. The challenge for this one is that in this particular property, there are 21 units, meaning that there are 21 parcels, 21 parcels, um, and 21 parcels under different entities. Now you can imagine how complicated this thing is, right? So he went to the bank. He went to a lot of local bank. A lot of local banks saying that, ah, man, it's just too complicated. I cannot get it done. They just cannot put it off. So finally came to us, and long story short, we make it work. We funded him $6 million out of this. Um, and again, we that's what we do. We provide solutions. We come up with many, many different ways to make this thing work. The way to make it work is that instead of giving them one loan, a $6 million, that's what everybody's thinking about. Just give me a $6 million loan. But what we decided to do is to give them multiple loans. In this case, we give them four different loans. Because why? Each company, there are four entities that host all these different buildings. So we each entity we break it down to four different loans, and each loan hosted by one entity. So that is how we make it work. So finally, we gave him $6 million, and he's very happy. asking us to go back to Chicago, and which we will. So again, retail building. This one right here, it's also in Chicago, and you see that is what the referral is, a power of referral. So we closed that $6 million deal for this guy, and he loved us so much. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's because when we picked up this deal, it was like 4 or 5 months ago. It took a long time to get this deal done. It's not easy. So at that time, because we communicating, talking every single day, and he realized how hard we worked, the entire team, how hard we worked for him, and he really liked us. So he introduced us to another business owner also in Chicago who owns building. So this guy right here owns a mixed use building, retail, office, in one building. So same thing for this particular one. Now, the reason that this one need to refinance is because he has a bridge loan, and the bridge loan is about to expire. And it does not matter. He like it or not, he has to refinance. The current lender is not willing to extend the loan. And that is what happened in commercial industry lending. Most of the commercial property out there, they have bridge loans, short-term loans. For whatever reason, they got short-term loans. Okay, the short-term loans normally ranging between 12 months to 24 months. When the time comes, they have two options. Number one, they can extend for another 6 months. Maximum, they will extend another 12 months. Number two, you have to refinance. So most of the client out there have to refinance no matter what. So in this case right here, we refinance it and gave him $6.5 million and also close in December. So you see, $6 million before, 6.5 right now. Total is $12.5 million already with these two clients. So another thing that I suggest everybody to do is to, when you go out there to look for clients, there's a lot of bridge loan clients out there. Now, as we speak, we are working on a database right now. Uh, there's a lot of crazy stuff out there. George is currently working. George is our loan advisor. Many of you already know him. He is working on a system in the back where we can actually attract informations from various different sources to find out who has bridge loans. So once we have that system ready, then we're going to announce it to the team. And hey, perhaps you want to tap into it and get some leads out of it. Okay. So this is mixed use. Now, the next one, don't try this at home. Many of you have seen this thing already, but don't try this at home. Okay. This one, I would say, out of all these deals out there that we closed in 2024, we closed total $32 million of deals in 2024. Out of all those deals that we close, and I would say this one is the winner. All right, this one is the winner. Some of you already seen it probably, but just bear with me. So nothing special about this one. Okay, it's the guy owns a trading company. He sells shoes. He sells retail, all kind of stuff. And he need to purchase a building to move his business into. So he looked at this building right here, worth about 400 some thousand dollars. He put in 50%. We give him $260,000. No, 300 some thousand dollars. 360,000. So he's going to put down $100,000, and we give him $260,000. So pretty clean. Nothing wrong with this. Very clean. So the only thing is, when we get to closing, uh, we ask him, "Hey, buddy, show me where it's your. We are closing now tomorrow, okay? You still have not show us that where is your $100,000. You keep telling us that you have the 100,000, you have the 100,000. Show it where's the 100,000?" He's saying that, well, I'm going to bring my 100,000 to the title company tomorrow. We scratch our head. How are you going to bring that? I need to see it first. And he's saying that I have the 100,000. It's under my mattress. I have $100,000 cash. Well, it's my fault. Okay, it was my fault. All along, I didn't ask him what form is your $100,000? Because I mean, again, when you are in a business long enough, you automatically assume something. So all along, I assumed that hey, this is $100,000 just in the bank or somewhere in another country that he's going to wire over. He keep telling me that hey, it's here, it's here. He just there's no problem. But I never have the thought that ask him, is your money under mattress? I mean, who would have that thought? So he told me that yes, my money is under mattress. So then now if you're a banker, ask yourself, in that situation, what would happen to that loan? If you're a banker, you work with a bank, your mortgage is not going to happen. Nobody's going to give you a loan. Okay? Nobody's going to give you a loan. But now this is what commercial lending, working with alternative funding source, the power of working with an alternative funding source. So we went back to the lender. I say, Carl, listen, we have spent so much time. It's a small deal. I got it, right? But a deal is a deal. Now, this is the situation. The guy has $100,000 in cash. And what am I going to do? What are you going to do? How can we get this thing closed? And Carl said, well, let me call my attorney. I cannot pull the trigger. Let me call my attorney. So Saturday morning, the three of us on a phone call, and now we talked about this. And finally, the attorney saying that, okay, fine, do this. Have the guy show me he has $100,000 in cash. I want to see $10,000 in a pile. I want to see 10 of them. He sit in front of the cash and take a picture, and I would let it go. Have you ever thought about something like this? Loan officers, bankers, have you seen something like this? Yeah, I know Gio is shaking his head, right? I mean, Gio is a loan broker right here. I mean, he has been doing loans forever. You have never seen something like this. So this is what we did. So he did, took a picture in front of his cash. One, two. This is the down payment, 115,000. Put it this way, 115,000. You can count one, right? So no, it's not. How many? One, two, three, four, five, six. 12, 12, 120,000, 130, 130,000. He put in 130,000. So he put that thing in, and now he sit in front of the cash and took a picture, and we sent it to the title company. We sent it to no, not the title company. We sent it to the attorney. The attorney say, okay, fine. I mean, you guys are mafia. I mean, I don't know who this guy is, but I let it go. I need to keep my word. So we did close this deal. Okay, we did close this deal. So again, this business, there's a lot of fun, a lot of stress, no doubt about this, but also has a lot of fun also. And that's what we do every day behind the scene is provide what? Not interest rate, not a loan. We provide a solution for our client. And this is going to be on our book for a long, long time. And I will be bragging about this thing for a long, long time. And you can do that too. Now, obviously, I tell you, don't try this at home. I'm not going to do this again. I promise you, I'm not going to do this again. It's a lot of stress. But what I want to share with you is that can you depend on us to get the loan done for your client? You make that call. Would you like to be part of this team? You make that call. So many of us come into this organization without knowing anything about commercial lending. And that's how we want to keep it. We don't want to we don't want you to know how to process a commercial lending loan. We don't want you to know. We don't want you to get involved. The dirty stuff. Let us handle the dirty stuff. Because I bet you one thing. I bet you. If you know, if you see what the dirty stuff is, when I say dirty, it doesn't not mean dirty. I'm talking about the frustrations, the see in our line of business in the back end, we say that we eat frustration for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's really true. We eat frustration for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And not many people can handle something like this. If I tell you to eat frustration for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day, would you still be in this business? Probably not. And that is why we build this platform so that you don't need to deal with the frustration. Let us deal with the frustration. Let George deal with the frustration. George has a thick face. He can deal with all kind of frustration. Let Bobby dealing with the frustration. I mean, hey, me and Bobby talk every day, and you know how much frustration that he get through right now for building that stupid AI system for the Smurf program. It's again, it's a lot of frustration, but we all know one thing: it's well worth it because once we get through that frustration, it's going to be a smooth sailing. It's just after the storm, we see that rainbow. It's the same idea. But the good thing is that on this platform, we do not need you to go through the frustration with us. We take care of it, and you enjoy the fruit. So I'm going to stop right here. This is the last slide of my presentation. So I just want to, again, it's our honor to have every single one of you on the Sequoia platform. We will be announcing the AI, if not this week, hopefully next week, Bobby. Um, we will have more loan advisors to come online to help us to deal with the back end. These people are already in the field. They love it. They don't see this thing as frustration. I see this thing as day-to-day life. See, I mean, for us that been in this business, right? I mean, oftentimes I talk to George, and especially during holiday, when there's no phone call to us, we feel kind of weird. I say we're supposed to get phone call every single day, man. People are supposed to call us with all kind of problem. But when holiday comes, nobody calling us, it just doesn't feel right. So again, I hope that you can see at least an idea what we can do with Sequoia. You choose and pick. What would you like to do? Regardless what it is, we have a place for you. Stuck with us. We meet halfway. Okay. I cannot guarantee that you can make $1 million, but I can show you a path to get to $1 million. It's totally up to you if you want to get there or not. So that's all I have. Thank you so much. And let's open up the floor if you have any questions